31st to 1st, that's not a typo, that's what just happened at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, and if you think that's a fluke, stick around, because what Tyler Reddick and his numbers doing 45 team pulled off in the span of one qualifying session is the kind of turnaround that makes grown crew chiefs lose their minds. One lap changed everything, and now the entire Cup Series field has to chase him. Here's the breakdown. No fluff. Tyler Reddick just claimed the pole for the Dollar Tree 301 in New Hampshire, running a lap of 29.54 seconds at just over 131 miles an hour. He beat Josh Berry by a razor-thin margin, or 0.15 seconds. That's basically nothing at these speeds. William Byron, Denny Hamlin, and Shane Van Gisbergen rounded out the top 5, and Toyota put 3 cars inside that group, a serious statement heading into race day. This is Reddick's 4th pole of the 2026 season and the 15th of his entire Cup Series career. And here's the twist. In practice, Reddick was 31st. Not top 10, not top 20, 31st. Let's talk about why this actually matters, because a pole at New Hampshire isn't just a shiny stat. New Hampshire is a track where drivers routinely say the same thing. Track position is everything. It's tight, it's technical, and clean air up front is worth more here than it is at almost any other stop on the calendar. Passing late in a run can be a nightmare. You get stuck in traffic on this racetrack and you could be fighting all day just to climb back to where you started. That's exactly why this pole carries weight beyond bragging rights. Now, zoom out to the bigger picture. Reddick and the 23XI racing camp had built a reputation this season as one of the most dangerous qualifying operations in the sport. 4 poles through the stretch of 2026 isn't luck, it's a pattern. Teams don't stumble into that kind of consistency by accident. Something in that pit box is clicking, and it's clicking at exactly the right time of the year. And for a locker room, or in NASCAR's case, a garage, that kind of statement lap does something intangible. It tells everyone else in the building that this team can manufacture speed out of nowhere, even after a rough practice session that suggested the opposite. Now here's where it gets interesting, because this is not a simple story of a fast car. This is a story about adjustments, risk, and reading a racetrack in real time. Being 31st in practice usually means one of 2 things. Either the car is genuinely off, or the team is sandbagging, hiding true pace to keep opponents guessing. Given what happened next, it's fair to ask which one this actually was. If Reddick's team made legitimate mechanical changes between practice and qualifying and found over half a second of speed, that's an engineering gamble that paid off in a massive way. Teams that make big swings like that between sessions are taking on real risk. Guess wrong, and you could end up worse off than where you started, buried deep in the field for a race that's over 300 laps long. Guess right, and you look like geniuses. But there's a second layer to analyze here, and it's the one that actually decides Sunday's outcome. Qualifying speed and race speed are not the same animal. A car can be a rocket ship for one clean lap on new tires with nothing else on the track and turn into a completely different, much harder to drive machine over a long green flag run with cars around it, tires wearing down, and track temperature rising. So the real question isn't whether Reddick can win the pole. He already did that. The real question is whether that setup translates into a car that can hold the point-managed tire fall-off and fend off a stacked group of contenders like Byron, Hamlin, Van Gisbergen, and a red-hot Josh Berry. Who's going to be sitting right on his back bumper from lap 1? This is the difference between a headline and a race-winning strategy. Right now, Reddick has the headline. Sunday will tell us if he has the strategy to match it. You already know how this is playing out online. Reddick's fans are treating this like a statement, proof that this team is peaking at the right time and building serious momentum heading toward the postseason picture. Skeptics are asking the obvious question, if the car was 31st in practice, can anyone actually trust it to run up front for 301 laps? Or was this a one-lap miracle that fades by lap 50? Then you've got the neutral analyst sitting in the middle, pointing out that in a sport this tight, where just 150 seconds separated the pole sitter from 10th place, literally anything can happen once green flag racing starts and strategy takes over. That's the tension driving the conversation right now. Belief against doubt. And Sunday is going to settle it one way or the other. So where does this go from here? Let's lay out both paths. Best case scenario, Reddick's team nailed the setup. The car handles just as well over a long run as it did on that one qualifying lap, and he controls the race from the front, using that track position advantage to hold off Berry, Byron, and the rest of the Toyota contingent. That's a pole-to-win storyline, and it cements this 23XI team as a legitimate championship threat heading into the stretch run. Worst case scenario, that qualifying speed doesn't hold up. The car that struggled in practice reveals its true colors once the tires start falling off and the long-run pace exposes what was hidden underneath one hot lap. Reddick fades through the field, the pole becomes a footnote, and the story shifts to how a 31st place practice car somehow stole the front row for a day, then paid for it on Sunday. Two totally different outcomes. One racetrack. We find out which version is real in a matter of hours. So here's the question I want you to answer down in the comments. Was this a genuine breakthrough for Tyler Reddick and this 45 team? Or was practice the truth and qualifying was the illusion? Drop your prediction before the green flag drops, because I want to see who actually called it once the checkered flag falls. If you're locked in on NASCAR coverage that actually breaks down the strategy behind the headlines, hit subscribe, because this is exactly the kind of story we're here to dig into every single week. SportsWire USA. We'll see you at the finish line.